And Kris, I think we're going to have you just start out and talk about how it looks. You don't have to talk about Marco Rubio, but
I would if you wanted me to.
We would love to hear your view from the policy landscape.
Great. Well, it's really nice to be here. Just moved from the Bay Area a year and a half ago to Washington, D.C. to try and carry these messages to the Hill and to the White House and to see if there might be a possibility of them doing more to invest in all of these great programs that foundations, for the most part, have been investing in. This last year, 28 states increased their investments in early learning by $670 million in just 1 year. 28 states did that. Now, the sort of sad news is there are 6 states still in our nation that don't provide any public funding for early learning. But luckily, it's a very small number, and I think that'll change. But the good news is this. The polls show over and over again, even white male Tea Party voters in the South like early learning. They like it. And it's been a lot of fun to go to focus groups and do polls every year with questions, really probing questions about relationships to children. Should children get a strong start? Should we invest more? Should it even be not deficit neutral? In other words, would you like to be taxed more? Yes, 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 yes. So we take all that data and we go to Congress and we go see Senator Rubio and we go see Senator Alexander and we go see Leader Pelosi and we say, look at this great data. And they love polling. That's the only time. Now here's the bad news, guys. Great speakers come up and tell you these moving stories. And guess what? If they can't feel that it's going to benefit them personally when they get home, they don't really carry the message to the floor. And one of the jobs that we have at First 5 Years Fund is to take all this data, all these great messages, all these interesting stories, and create accountability with members of Congress and people in the White House. Now, that may seem like kind of a linear job, but in all honesty, when I got there, the Democrats still controlled the Senate. They do not control the Senate anymore. There wasn't a presidential race underway. There is a presidential race underway. So it's a very dynamic environment, and there are many other advocates trying to get attention on their issue. Planned Parenthood, environmentalists, people that are really interested in foreign policy, the Iran deal, you name it, they're all in line outside of all these doors with the early childhood advocate, and it's not easy. And that's what we'll talk about a little bit later, I think, is that when you make an investment in any program, in the back of your mind, you should be thinking, how do I get myself out of making this investment someday? I need an exit strategy. So on your way into the investment, you want a way out of that investment. And that's sort of where the public funding is supposed to take over. You're the innovators, you're the entrepreneurs, you're the people that are willing to take risk, you're actually willing to fail. But government isn't any of those things. It's really there to maintain the system and provide a safety net. And it's not doing a very good job on either one. So what we are trying to do at First 5 Years Fund is take all this great information, get people that are in charge of the federal budget to do better, and even state leaders to do the same. And it wouldn't work if I were trying to do this and I had never actually done the work myself. So I won't go over my bio, but I spent a lot of time in the Bay Area, 25 years, in public service, visiting homes where there were really difficult things going on, and they still are. And now when I go visit members of Congress, particularly conservative members, I remind them that in their home district, there are more children in poverty than not, that there are children on waiting lists to go to Head Start, of all things, not high-quality preschool, but the federally subsidized program. And there are families who are struggling to make ends meet, and they recognize that they have to go home and see those parents. So we'll talk more about how investing in the parents and the families and the programs kind of needs to roll up into an accountability and advocacy strategy that allows them to scale up the good programs that are underway.